Affordable housing is an escalating problem around the United States. From price surges to supply chain deficits, many communities struggle to provide housing at a price that allows for a good quality of life.
There's a migration pattern that's emerged across the United States, which is, I will call it the de-urbanization of America, that was really probably coming with a pendulum swing anyway, but certainly got accelerated by the pandemic. Apartment communities, housing stock, it's all being exhausted in terms of supply. That drives up pricing, and frankly, affordability becomes a major issue when wages and salaries can't keep up with the increasing prices. Clearly, the economic impact is the most devastating, but there are secondary effects that occur when prices escalate quickly enough. We get the gentrification effect, which is that housing stock that has been considered to be native, affordable housing begins to disappear in favor of redevelopment of blocks and blocks of cities or even the suburbs. That's because the rents command higher land values than the buildings that are on the properties. So the buildings disappear, give way to apartment projects. But then in the urban areas, the advent of high-rise apartment buildings and condos has dislocated many people who would have been living there in the lower quality, older housing stock that gets torn down. Areas like ours across the Southeast, all the way to Texas, are being overrun with people that are looking for places to live. They can work remotely now. They can make a lifestyle choice to be here. Another problem is the fact that folks can't live where they want to live if the prices are too high, so they get driven out into the suburbs. That means they've got to buy and pay for automobiles and gasoline and everything related to that, which further drains the pocketbooks of folks that can't afford it. The crisis that we face across the communities of high desirability boils down to a supply and demand problem. Supply is not there, demand is extreme.
Like many cities across the United States, the Durham and Raleigh metros of North Carolina are experiencing the effects of the housing affordability crisis.
So you will see in our state, the two major cities, well, I call Raleigh-Durham one urban area, but Raleigh and Durham are the granddaddies that have seen tremendous growth, as have all the communities around us. One of the largest cities in the state now, that was about 10,000 people when I moved here in 1983, 40 years ago, is now 150,000 people. Charlotte has somewhat the same thing, although the Charlotte city limits make it the largest city in North Carolina by far.
Jim Anthony, the founder and CEO of APG Companies, utilizes his resources to give back to the community. Jim is on a mission to deliver achievable solutions to affordable housing through innovative, privately funded projects that do not require government subsidies. Through APG, Jim Anthony is building people and places.
I mean, the idea of an accessory dwelling unit behind a house in Raleigh was birthed well over 100 years ago. So people would convert their garages and they'd put garage apartments above their garage, or they would segregate a portion of their house to get income because they had no money coming in 1929 to 1939. I mean, there's a depression will force people to come up with some interesting solutions. And rooming houses became a thing, a major thing all across America. Our mission is to build people first and then build communities that are healthy. And health involves a lot more than just physical health, in our opinion. I think it's about emotional health, spiritual health, intellectual health. All of these things need to be cared for in the person, whether they're in my company or whether in the community that we're serving. We have 2 co-living projects in the pipeline in the city of Durham. Think of co-living as student housing for everybody. So we're looking for young professionals. Both these projects are located within a mile of Duke University, so we expect that many of the people who will live in these 1-bedroom, 1-bath units with shared common areas will be folks that work at the university, work at the medical center. Maybe they're traveling nurses, which is kind of a big topic these days because of the nursing shortage, or they're residents in the medical school, overseas residents for a period of time. They don't have cars, and they don't have community, and they're looking for instant community that comes when you live in a 4 to 6 bedroom, 6 bath unit. These will be townhouse style.
For over 30 years, Jim Anthony has led his company with generosity. Driven to create an impact within his community, Jim Anthony builds out-of-the-box solutions in an effort to ensure anyone can afford a home.
We're also doing travel trailer communities. We've got a number of those in the pipeline, not just in the Triangle area, but now we're working one in Georgia. We're also finding land, getting projects entitled for housing communities that will be more affordable. In addition to the things I've already mentioned, we're also acquiring farms and we're converting those into rural housing communities where we can deliver on well and septic tanks, affordable housing. As Zig Ziglar once said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So we're trying to live that out on the streets, in our business.
To find out more, visit www.apgcre.com.